Rene Descartes, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Born 1596, died 1650, from France. Was a French philosopher during the Enlightenment. He's been called the father of modern philosophy, sometimes called the father of Western philosophy as well. And he introduced a number of major theories in terms of rationalism, which is in epistemology. And he also discussed mind-body dualism, as well as his theory of skepticism. Primary way we know things. Is it through our senses, or is it through our minds? How we figure things out through reason. Ultimately, Rene Descartes believed that our senses lie to us all of the time, and we have to rely on our minds to ascertain new knowledge. This is called rationalism. Rene Descartes is considered the father of rationalism, and when we get into future classes, we will compare it with empiricism, which believes that it's through senses and experimentation that we obtain our knowledge. This believes that no, it's truly through our minds and the judgment through our thoughts. The senses deceive us from time to time, and it is prudent, meaning wise, never to trust wholly those who have deceived us even once. The wax argument. Descartes said, look at a candle. If you light it and it heats up, it's going to melt. And its properties that we take in through our senses, for instance, our vision or touching, the candle itself is going to change. It's going to move from a solid to a liquid. And as it moves to a liquid, is the candle the same, or is it a different candle? Now clearly we know that it's the same candle, just changing forms. But if we rely only on our senses, we would think that the melted wax had turned into a completely different thing than the original candle. Our senses would tell us that. It has changed forms, but we know it's the same candle. This proves, according to Descartes, that our minds, not our senses, is how we really understand the world. Our senses understand that the candle has melted, but our mind understands that even though it's changed, it's the same candle. This is a crucial argument in favor of rationalism, saying that our minds are how we take in new information, not our senses. A Descartes quote that illustrates this concept. And so something which I thought I was seeing with my eyes is in fact grasped solely by the judgment which is in my mind. It's our minds that really understand things and truly see things. Cartesian dualism, a different, deeper concept. He said that there are two different substances. You've got mind and you've got matter. Our minds are a non-physical, spiritual thinking thing. You can't find our mind. You could find our brain. Our brain is matter. The brain is part of the body. The body is a physical thing. He said there was a connection between the two. They are separate. Mind and body are separate in his view. Dualism meaning two. And they influence each other in his belief. The mind thinks and it tells the body how to react. But the body, for instance, if it sits on attack, will send signals back to the mind. He felt that they were entirely different things. They were not the same. They were two different substances. Cartesian doubt or Cartesian skepticism. A quote from him. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary, at least once in your life, for you to doubt, as far as possible, all things. Cartesian doubt and skepticism. He began this process. He began to question all of his beliefs, even the things that we think we know, obvious things. He wanted to question all of these beliefs in order to find out what could he know for certain. And what he realized is most everything that we take in through our senses, but as we've shown, our senses can lie to us, be it optical illusions being the candle example. And so if our senses are how we take information we can't really know anything for certain. He gives the example of a dream. Everybody dreams. And in your dreams, you perceive that your dream is real. And then you wake up, and obviously your dream is not real. Are the things real in your dream? Descartes' dream argument. How often has it happened to me that in the night I dreamt that I found myself in this particular place, while in reality I was lying undressed in bed? During dreams, we go to places and we feel real emotions and real, or as if things are real to us. Can you be certain that you're not dreaming right now? If so, how? I've had dreams before where I have dreamt that I woke up in my dream and went about my day, but I was actually still dreaming. Descartes felt in order to find out what is real from what is fake, you have to suspect that everything you think you know. You have to not trust anything you see or hear, and you have to even assume that everything is either a dream or a wicked trick. I'm sure some of you remember, perhaps, when you realized that the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus wasn't real. That was a shock to the system. That may have overturned your whole belief system. Something that you believed so firmly that somebody was eating those cookies every year, and now it's not true. That's a wicked trick, isn't it? How do I know I'm not in the middle of some awful philosophical nightmare? Or then again, how do I know I haven't fallen into the clutches of an evil, malignant doctor, one who has recovered my brain after some nasty accident and is now keeping it suspended in a vat of chemicals as part of a ghastly medical experiment? How do I know that everything I think I'm experiencing isn't really made up sense data being fed into my poor old brain in a vat along colored wires, purple for hearing, black for touch, yellow for taste, blue for vision? These are the words of Descartes as he went through this skepticism, this doubt, to find out what was real. He introduces this concept of an evil demon or an evil genius. In the picture you see a little Descartes supposedly being deceived by a bored devil-like character. But Descartes went all in and said to himself, how do I know that what I think is real is real? What if I'm being duped? What if I'm being tricked by this demon or genius? What if this evil genius, as he said, has my brain in a vat? Hey, what if we're all just brains in a vat, sitting in a lab somewhere, hooked up to wires and electrodes and stuff? Our entire lives just a hallucination of electrical pulses. Gosh, I hope not. Yeah, freaky. I don't think anybody truly believes this concept, but Rene Descartes, as I said, went all in to truly figure out what was real and what was fake. The film The Matrix that we watched the other day, Neo, the main character, he's been hooked up to a giant computer. He doesn't know that. He thinks everything's real. He thinks it's 1999. When he chooses the blue pill or red pill, I don't remember what color pill it was, but whatever pill he chooses, then he gets to see truth, not the reality that was being fed into his brain via wires. This is Rene Descartes' evil genius that's obviously put the brain in a vat. I think, therefore I am, the most famous concept in Western philosophy. Descartes said, I can doubt whether I have a body or not. Maybe there's an evil genius, he's got my brain in a vat, blah, blah, blah. I can doubt if I have a body. But wait a minute. I can't doubt if I have a mind. That's not even arguable. Because if I'm doubting if I have a body or if I have a mind, in order to doubt or to think, there must be someone doing the doubting or thinking. So yeah, maybe I'm not a body, but I have figured out, Descartes said, that I can be certain that I exist. How can I be certain that I exist? If I'm thinking and I'm doubting, that proves that I'm existing, because who is doing the thinking or doubting? Hence, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. Probably the most famous quote in all of philosophy. In order to develop your mind, we must think more instead of memorizing. He also, I've seen it said, instead of memorizing, more instead of contemplating. that we need to contemplate, meaning think more deeply, not just fill our minds full of facts.